हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। आज जिस टॉपिक पे मैं वीडियो बना रही हूँ वो आपका इग्नू का BPSC 101 चैप्टर 2 व्हाट इज़ पॉलिटिक्स, स्टडी ऑफ स्टेट एंड पावर। इस टॉपिक पे मैं पिछले 2 वीडियो में आपको नोट्स प्रोवाइड करा चुकी हूँ। आज मैं इसका थर्ड और लास्ट पार्ट पे जो हूँ नोट्स प्रोवाइड करा रही हूँ। कुछ टॉपिक्स हमने पिछले 2 वीडियोस में कवर कर लिए थे। आज हम बाकी के जो टॉपिक्स बचे हुए हैं उनको कवर करेंगे। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। पॉलिटिक्स एज अ वायलेशन पॉलिटिक्स एज अ वॉलेशन। वेबर कोटेड अ लेक्चर पॉलिटिक्स एज अ मैं दोबारा से बोल रही हूँ। पॉलिटिक्स एज अ वोकेशन है, ये वायलेशन नहीं है, वोकेशन है। Weber quoted a lecture, Politics as a Vocation. He said that the definition of the state could not be given in terms of the task which it undertakes or of the ends it pursues. A state should be defined in terms of the specific means which it employed, which were ultimately physical force. According to Weber, state is a human community that successfully claims the monopoly of the legitimate use of physical force within a given territory. The different elements combined here are a given territory or geographical area which is controlled by the state and the use of physical force to maintain its control, and last the monopoly of the legitimate use of such force or cohesion. From all the above studies, Weber inferred that for him politics meant striving to share power or striving to influence the distribution of power either among states or among groups within a state. The study of politics include relationship of state and society. A state can be viewed as a specialized apparatus of domination. The history of modern times has been marked by the extension of its scale and grip. There is a need of larger and more sophisticated armed forces and more regulative welfare agencies which engages in a wider range of activities than was the case before in the modern state. In the book 18 Brumaire of Lois Bonaparte, Marx wrote about the growth of state power in France, which he saw as typical of the modern state. He believed how through socialism eventually the state would be abolished and society would govern itself without specialized apparatus of repression. On the other hand, according to Weber, the socialism would never ever more officials to administer a collectivized economy and society. Now, the next topic is the legitimate use of power. The state does not rest on force totally. The power of the state can be exercised in different ways. One way is cohesion, which is easiest to understand but not the only one. All those who possess power try to get those who are subject to their rule to believe in the rightness and justness of the power they wield, and this effort at justification in order to make people consent constitute the process of legitimation. In this case of power or authority, people obey because they think it is right and they have the authority to command. According to the recent analyst of power, legitimate authority is a power relation in which the power holder possesses an acknowledged right to command and the power subject an acknowledged obligation to obey. Next topic is Max Weber on legitimation. Weber said there are 3 types of legitimation. The first type is the traditional domination, in which the power is justified because the holder of power can appeal to tradition and habit, and the authority has always been bestowed in them personally or in their families. The second type is charismatic legitimation, in which people follow the power holder because of the unique personal qualities of the leader. The third type is of the legal rational kind, in which people follow certain person who are authorized by specific rule to command in strictly defined spheres of action. The political system consists of those who compile with the rules only because non compliance will be punished. A political system is considered as stable in which people obey the rules or laws on their own because they accept the legitimacy of the established order. Next topic is legitimation, central concern of political science. According to Cyril Mills, the idea of legitimation is one of the central conceptions of political science. The main objective of the study of politics is mainly concerned with the methods by which holders of power try to get their power justified and with the extent to which they succeed. It is important studying any political system to investigate the degree to which people accept the existing power structure as legitimate and thus how much the structure is set on consent as distinct from cohesion. Another important concern of legitimacy is highly important in dealing with the topics of stability and change of political system. Next topic is process of delegitimation. The process of delegitimation includes the ideas which justify the existing structure of power come under attack. The ideas of divine right and of autocracy were ridiculed and refused by the philosophers, the critics of the absolute state, much before the fall of the ancient regime in France. This movement contributed to undermine the foundations of the old order. Thus, it can be said that a system loses its stability once it ceases to enjoy legitimacy in the eyes of its subject. There are many legitimizing ideas which are absorbed from the earliest stages of education and diffused through a variety of forms of social interaction. These are then spread through the influence of the press, television, and other mass media. Next topic is manipulated consent. The power can help the capacity to affect and mold people consciousness so that they will accept the existing state of affairs without ever becoming aware of alternative possibilities. According to Cyril Mills, manipulation is power wielded unknown to the powerless. Also, Peter Worsley stated that the mechanism by which consciousness is manipulated are of growing importance in modern society. Marxist language said that such manipulated consent would eventually produce a false consciousness. Thus, it can be said that the importance of political choice and the ability to freely express that choice cannot be overrated. And the last topic of this video is personal of the state machine, the elite. The state is not a machine. It is a set of institutions staffed by people whose ideas and basic attitudes are largely influenced by the origin and social environment. From the various theoretical point of view, there are different answers to the question as to how decisive the nature and composition of the state elite are. The nature of a political system is best explained by an analysis of its elite, that ruling minority which controls the state apparatus. Thus, almost everything depends on the talent and abilities of the leader, and if leadership is law, it will have disastrous consequences. Max Weber was much concerned with the nature of Germany political leadership and was in favor of a strong parliament. The emphasis of the structural theory is on the constraints on the government stemming from the social structures within which the government has to operate. The phrase which Marx applied to the Bonapartist state, that its power was not suspended mid-air, can be generalized to apply to all types of state system. तो ये था आज का मेरा टॉपिक और अब ये चैप्टर आपका यहीं पे फिनिश होता है. नेक्स्ट वीडियो में मैं इस चैप्टर से रिलेटेड असाइनमेंट क्वेश्चन और प्रीवियस ईयर सॉल्व्ड क्वेश्चन भी कराऊंगी. और अगर आपको मेरा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो प्लीज़ मेरे चैनल को लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, बेल आइकन को दबा दीजिए ताकि मैं जब भी ऐसे वीडियो डालूं तो उसकी नोटिफिकेशन आप तक पहुंच जाए. मैं दोबारा से स्लाइड्स को स्क्रॉल कर रही हूँ ताकि आप लोगों को ईजिली विजिबल हो जाए. आज के लिए बस इतना ही था. नेक्स्ट वीडियो तक. और हाँ फ्रेंड्स, मैं एक चीज़ तो बताना ही भूल गई, सॉरी, कि अगर आपको इस चैप्टर से रिलेटेड नोट्स चाहिए हो, असाइनमेंट चाहिए हो या प्रीवियस ईयर सॉल्व क्वेश्चन पेपर चाहिए हो तो आप मुझे मेरे व्हाट्सअप नंबर पर कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स पे मैं अपना व्हाट्सअप नंबर डाल दूँगी. आपको उस पर सिर्फ मैसेज करना है, कॉल नहीं करना है. आज के लिए बस इतना ही था. नेक्स्ट वीडियो तक बाय.